Gather round, friends, new and old, and welcome to the POWWOW podcast. I am your host, David, and Philip is a stupid...
I am, and I am also your other host.
Okay, someone gave him the job of host. We've been podcasting for a long time now, and somehow the man had the wrong microphone set up, or what is you had selected the wrong microphone.
It's if we must be honest and pull back the full curtain, I didn't actually select my microphone, so I neglected to do the next step. Is what it is. I didn't go above and beyond.
Cover your bases is what you didn't do. Now, anyway, okay, we're getting off track. Yeah. The sun is shining. Summer is here. I'm feeling so much better than I did a couple weeks ago. And that is really just down to warm weather and sunshine. And I love it. How are you, Phil?
I am doing excellent. Thank you for asking. I am a little hairier than normal, but that is purely for selfish reasons. Number one, so I felt like there should be a promo video with me a little scruffy. It feels like we've never had that. And as I always look at the promo videos, of course, I just thought, you know what, let's do that. Plus, for being completely honest, I have a shave appointment that I will be doing tonight that it always feels
appointment.
Yes, where I need to shave. And I will be doing that and fulfilling that tonight. And so I thought it might be appropriate to just let it grow out, do a promo.
Good.
And then see where we go from there. So very good week for me. And also just a good week. How about you? How was your week?
All good. We got some family visiting, so we're doing a lot of touristy things, which is can be good fun.
Yes.
And we've got a jam-packed episode for you, so we won't dawdle any longer. Let's move on.
So we are in the enthralls of summer, which means that we are in the middle of Blockbuster season. And because of that, we thought it might be fun, even though we did miss like two pretty big ones. We thought it'd be a lot of fun to try and do a little bit of a Blockbuster draft here on Chopped Greens. As such, both me and David brought along a friend to help us in this endeavor. And we'll tell everybody what we win, should you be the one to win, and we'll even explain how to play this little Blockbuster draft of ours. But first of all, let's introduce our guests who will be joining us for this fun little endeavor. I'll start with my guest, the one, the only, Gary Boucher. Welcome back to the pod, Gary.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Good luck to your guest for getting past that, David.
I'm going to do that the whole show.
Devin just quit the podcast. He left.
Yeah,
I don't know what. I guess we're going to have to do without him.
This is it for me. I'm sorry, guys. Calling it quits.
Devin, too, has been on the podcast before. Devin, don't remember when or what we did, but you are a friend of the podcast, and we've been trying to get you back on, but you're just so busy, but we're delighted to have you for something special.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm glad to be back on.
And you're an actor, so you're a fan of movies as well, so this is a good episode for you to come on for.
I feel everybody here today has a very good knowledge and feel for movies here. Of course, me and Gary used to do a lot of movie podcasts, so of course that's how our qualifications are. Devin and David, bona fide actors in the biz, so no matter what, this should work. Okay, so guys, let's get to the Blockbuster draft. First of all, we will go from now until the weekend of August 5th, 2022. We will then go forward and draft any and all movies that premiere within the United States. Sorry, Hoffman. Within the United States up until that August 5th opening weekend. And how it goes is we will draft movies, let's say, I don't know, Titanic, Avatar, The Last Airbender, whatever movie you want that comes out between now of June, the weekend of June 17th to August 5th. And whenever we draft a movie, we are going to be getting their entire opening weekend revenue. So if they make $100 million, you made $100 million. If they make $750,000,
let me ask: are we talking worldwide gross or U.S. gross? Because I kind of think it should be worldwide.
I agree.
Well, I would say worldwide, but the problem is if we're doing...
We are a worldwide podcast.
We are a worldwide podcast, but it should be just U.S., and here's why. Because sometimes they have specific openings to specific regions, and then that will really do a disservice to the indie films that I have no doubt that we'll probably be drafting here in the fourth round. So we will be keeping it to the United States Open. We will be judging it based off of IMDb's weekend openings. I will keep track. We will be told what happens. And of course, we all have access to the same list. Of course, the only movie that I believe that is on there that you might not have seen on the list that was removed is that you were all, I'm sure, trying to draft is the movie Murina. Yes, I'm sure you all wanted to draft that movie, but that will be the only addition to the list that I sent you that is not on there. And of course, gentlemen, if a movie drafted gets pushed back for whatever reason, you get to pick any film left in the field to replace it. So keep that in mind as well. So again, you want to accumulate as much money that was generated within the first opening weekend of a movie's opening, and whoever gets the most wins a chance to come back on the podcast. And yeah, first of all, and
what if it's me?
If it's you or me, anybody gets to then choose a main topic of their choosing with no arguing from any of the other hosts. Which, David, you know which topic I'm picking. You know what topic I'm picking. We have not done a topic that I've wanted to do for quite some time. So there we go. Whoever comes back gets to do a topic all of their choosing. It is actually quite valuable to have that little nugget in their back pocket.
Should we come back and bore your listeners about Suns off-season moves for 3 hours?
If that's what you want, that's what we will talk about, unfortunately. So, guys, I will be picking the order at random here. I have a button that you all see that I click, and here we go.
Yeah, we see the button. We don't see whatever he's looking at.
I don't either.
You all trust me. Yes,
Phil,
you all
trust
me.
you. Just
yes. The first pick will go to Gary. Second pick goes to Devin. I get the third pick, and David will get the back-to-back picks at the end of the round. I think that the fourth, if I'm being honest, my strategy was to get 1 or 4. I thought that those were the best spots to get in this draft. So, with the first overall pick, Gary Boucher, who are you selecting?
He was a god. Then he got fat. Then he saved the universe. And now he's going on a journey of self-discovery. There's only one choice, honestly. Since you've cut me off at the legs, you won't let me take Top Gun Maverick because it's already come out.
Yes.
There's one choice, the movie that's going to undoubtedly make the most money domestically. Thor: Love and Thunder. Taika Waititi's back, Natalie Portman's back, Christian Bale, Russell Crowe. It's an easy pick. It's going to be a fun, upper echelon, at the very least, Marvel movie I'm anticipating. It's a no-brainer.
A no-brainer first overall pick that we were all hoping everybody else would forget about, but it is indeed taken. He gets the benefit of the number 1 overall pick, and now I would argue the hard part starts here with you, Devin.
Yeah.
Where to go with that second overall pick?
Honestly, it's not hard at all. It was tied up there for Thor: Love and Thunder, but Jordan Peele has done amazing work with his last films. I am going with Nope, because that is just going to be so suspenseful. Everybody's going to be in it. Everybody's already looking forward to it. Nope is definitely going to be one of them. It's going to be top. It's going to get highest grossing. Jordan Peele does amazing work. He's going to do it again. Let's go.
I'll be honest. I'm surprised that you went in that direction. That's a little lower for me in my own rankings.
Really?
Yes, of course. I put a mock draft.
I'm already hearing good things about it.
I hear it's great. I just don't know how it's going to gross. So
I think it's going to do well.
Very good choice. I will definitely be
I'm with
adding.
Devin. That's one's high up there.
Okay, well, I will definitely be adding to your gross total for that first opening weekend for sure. I just don't know that it's going to be deserving. Anyways, my pick is number 3 here. And I'm going to go with something that opened this past weekend. It's the one known that we do have in this entire draft. I'm going to go with Lightyear. I think it's going to be going pretty well. I think that it has a strong opening already, and it's a safe pick where I sit at number 3. So I will be going with Lightyear. David, number 4.
Okay, number 4. My pick. So I've got these back-to-back picks. It doesn't really matter which order I do them in, but I'm going to do them in the order that I would. I think that Elvis is going to do really well. It's one of those big movies like Bohemian Rhapsody. It's one of those biopics, and I see it doing very well. It's probably going to have some. I don't know if it's going to be good enough, if the performances are going to be good enough, but it's got Tom Hanks, and it's definitely going to have some buzz around it Oscar-wise. So I think that's one that people are going to crowd to. And that concludes the first round of picks. So moving on to the second round of picks with the fifth overall pick, the first pick in the second round, I'm going all the way to August. Now there's a lot of good. This is where things start to like level out. I mean, I feel like the first overall pick was pretty clear. This is where things start to get a little dicey. Like you never know how things are going to do. But I'm going with Brad Pitt.
Dang it!
Bullet Train.
I was going to say that.
Bullet Train. I've seen the trailer. It looks
good.
Fun. It looks exciting. And I mean, Brad Pitt, say no more, right? I think Bullet Train is going to do pretty well.
Dang it. I definitely got sniped here. Wow, that's where I wanted to go. Okay. Now I'm having to adjust my order of draft because you're right. After those first 4 picks, there felt like a significant drop-off. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and trust that I cannot make it back to this pick. So I will go with it and risk a higher pick for myself. I'm going to go with the Black Phone.
God damn.
Solid.
I know that it won't make it back to me on my next pick. What I do want, I think will. So I'm playing strategy on this particular pick, not what I actually think deserves to be where I picked it. We go back to Devin, who already has a pick of Nope. What will you be doing to add to your team, Devin?
You know, you've kind of you guys put me in a little bind here. You guys took some of the ones that I was already was thinking about the most, and so you know what? I'm gonna go with a crowd pleaser. You know, they've already had I don't know like four films already, I believe, or maybe 5. Can't even remember, and they've all done pretty good. They made so many. I'm gonna go with Minions.
Dang it! I thought it would make it back.
I think that's going to be another popular one out there.
Yes.
You know, everybody's kids are going to go watch that. You know, just a popular little franchise going on.
Yeah,
so let's go with that one.
Smart pick. I was looking at that too. Pick. I was looking at that too. Smart. It was up there with Bullet Train.
Yeah. All right, Gary, you get back-to-back picks here to add to the number 1 overall pick, which was Thor: Love of God and Thunder. Loving God.
This is a tricky spot. Love Gods and videotape. So you've got a bunch of animated over the summer, as you always do, and Bullet Train, and the other live action one that was picked. Black Phone. Horror is a given, but summer animation is also a given, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that there's only 2 for me logical picks left on the board, which are DC Super Pets and Paws of Fury. Just more franchise fodder, more family fodder. Mm-hmm. I think that, Dwayne Johnson is in Super Pets. Paws of Fury is, I don't know if is that Kung Fu Panda? Is that a thing? Or is it like its own thing? Because it looks like Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda meets Samuel L. Jackson. Honestly.
What in the mother Cocker Spaniel? Yeah, I've seen that trailer too many times, as you can see. So yeah, Super Pets, Paws of Fury. I'm not stoked about, going and watching these movies, but I think that I could bank on 80 to 100 mil for both of these.
Yeah, DC Super Pets.
Not opening weekend. That would be absurd, just overall. Yeah.
So Gary with the family-friendly picks thus far with Thor, DC Super Pets, and Paws of Fury. Devin is looking to add his third pick to Nope and Minions. Where are you going here, Devin?
Now I'm reaching to the point where I don't know any of these. And so I'm going completely blind here with just like feeling out them, and I don't think I've seen any of these other trailers or heard about them, to be honest. So just by their name alone, that sounds like, hey, that might be
a good strategy,
a good movie. It's so hard being so blinded. I don't know why. You know what? I'm gonna go Guns 3.
Guns 3.
Yeah, Guns 3.
I think it's gonna be a big blockbuster, about Billy the Kid, and it's just I haven't seen any trailer on it, but it sounds like it's gonna be big. And I think it's gonna be popular.
Of course, because it's not just it's successful enough to get a third film, of course.
Yeah,
so there we go. He went very off the board with Guns 3. That leaves a value pick here for me to potentially get 2 of the films that I wanted after David chooses his. So I will start off with Where the Crawdads Sing. That is my next pick. And I think even with all the controversy surrounding the film, I think it's going to generate and be a valid film and has potential to possibly be better if it gets good reviews coming out. David, where are you going with your back-to-back picks?
Now, this is tough. This is tough because I'm kind of in a similar place to Devin. I have heard of some of these films, but I haven't done all the trailer research, So there's a couple that look intriguing based on the title that, there's a part of me that wants to go with like something horror because those tend to have this cult following. But so my first pick, I'm going to go with Vengeance. And the reason I'm going with Vengeance is because I believe it is starring BJ Novak, and I've heard him talk about the film. And he said that he was at some film festival and he saw a poster of a film called Vengeance, and he thought to himself, "Man, I really wish I could be in a film called Vengeance. That sounds so cool." and so now he is in a film called Vengeance, and he's on the poster or something, and he thinks that's really cool. And you know what? Maybe it does really well. I don't think it's hugely popular.
It co-stars Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that, but I knew it was a BJ Novak film, and so who knows? We'll see. Now, I do kind of want to pick a horror film, and I don't know if any of these are horror films. I'm sure one of them has to be, right? Summer horror blockbuster. So I'm going with, on the one hand, a horror, what I think might be a horror film. I really don't know. And on the other hand, movies that start with the word American, like American Sniper, American Hustle, American, blah. I mean, I hate them. It's so like, just typical. But I'm going with American Carnage, coming out 15th of July. That is my choice.
Not a bad pick. Carnage. You've got Jenna Ortega in there. She's getting a little more popular.
Is it a horror film?
No, I don't think it's a horror. It's something about she and her friends are like undocumented and they have to.
Okay.
I just read the description earlier, but you
that
see
sounds
the cast,
intriguing. Sounds like it could be a thriller.
Wow.
After governor issues an executive order to arrest the children of undocumented immigrants, the newly detained youth
I'm glad. I'm even happier
yet.
with my pick now. It sounds very good.
All right, so with his 4, David ends his team selection with Elvis, Bullet Train, Vengeance, and American Carnage. So that will be his entire roster. Mine is Lightyear, The Black Phone, Where the Crawdads Sing, and I'm very happy. I would actually watch all of my films, to be honest with you. Man, you guys left some great films on here that I did not think would get to me. So now I have a selection that's just more so, which one do I think will be better? Because I thought I was only going to be afforded one. I think I'm going to go, and I'm going to be so pissed if the other one does better. I will go with Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. I've seen a commercial for it, so I feel like because I've seen a commercial for it, the advertising will be there. It looks cute. It appeals to a whole family. I'm wondering if it's safe. There's another film that I think I've seen some light trailers for that might do better, but Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, I will be contributing to that gross box office for that opening weekend for sure, and I'm hoping millions of others will do so with me. So, Devin, you have a roster of Nope, Minions, Guns 3. Who is the final roster addition to your list already?
I started looking at a couple of these because I felt like totally in the blind, so I just started tapping on them. And I noticed one has an actor that, a lot of people like, and he's very popular. It's got Bruce Willis in it. And, he's sometimes not the best track record when it comes to, highest grossing movies. But I'm leaning in toward that direction real quick.
I believe his career finishing film, if you do want to go there.
Really? That's funny. I didn't know that. But I think I'm good at it's a toss up between two right now because of the casts. But I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go wrong place with Bruce Willis. I'm gonna trust in my gut that Bruce Willis is gonna bring it home. One last time.
All right, Nope, Minions, Guns 3, and Bruce Willis's Mona Lisa, Wrong Place. And
Random.
Gary, you started out this entire draft. You will now end it after picking Thor.
The irrelevant film, right?
Yes, the Mr. Irrelevant film after picking Thor, DC Super Pets, Paws of Fury, very family friendly, Gary. Are you going to stay there or are you going to go with some indie film about incest?
Speaking of, I just watched Dogtooth last night, which isn't any film about incest. Check it out. To me, there's two logical picks left. We have, first of all, Bodies, 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 which
Say about that.
That would have been your horror
Davidson-
film to pick there, Hoffman.
yeah, and Pete Davidson, I think, is somehow, weirdly enough, a guy that people want to go watch in movies. I actually like him. It's just weird that like people went to go see Suicide Squad because they're like, oh yeah, Pete Davidson's in it, right? So you've got that. It looks fun. It looks kind of like my type of movie. On the other hand, we have Easter Sunday, the Joe Coy Asian family film. And Joe Coy, I don't know him that well. I know it's got Tiffany Haddish, and maybe it will appeal to that demographic. Maybe they'll show up and really bolster the movie. But if it comes down to how many Asian families are going to see Easter Sunday and how many thirsty white girls are going to see Bodies, 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 I'm going with Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Pete
Good
Davidson,
choice.
bring it home for me, buddy.
That means
There it
Thor,
is.
DC Super Pets, Paws of Fury, and Bodies, Bodies, Pete Davidson rounds out Gary's team. Guys, these are some
Yeah.
strong teams.
Yeah.
I will be keeping track, and who knows? It just well might come down to the last weekend. We will keep you, the listener, updated as well through our time there. Probably give you a halfway point
Now
update.
hold on a second, because I want to
Yes.
address some of these, the ones
Please.
that remained, right?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Attack on Finland. I do not know anything about it.
It's like White House Down, but Finland. It's awesome.
What intrigues me so much about this film is what reason anyone might have for attacking Finland. I mean, that'll get me to the theater on its own. And what was the other one I was looking at? You know what? I think that was about it. I think the rest of them were all taken. So well done to all. We'll see how it goes.
I'm
and
curious,
we will-
would everybody watch every single film that they have drafted? Devin's going to have an especially hard time.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
even know
watch
if he'll
it.
be able to find Guns 3 with its release. But is everybody a fan and would actually watch the films that they have picked? Gary?
A fan of 50% of them. I could sit through Super Pets and Paws of Fury.
Paws of Fury looks like it's going
I
to be a
guess.
chore to sit through, man.
Yeah.
Super Pets, at least you can enjoy Kevin Hart being Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
David, would you watch all of your films here? Elvis? Bullet Train?
I think mine is the easiest to actually get through all of them. Elvis for sure. I want to see that. Bullet Train I'm excited about. And then where did I go after that? Vengeance. I'm curious. I find Ashton Kutcher to be some fun, and a movie called Vengeance. It's probably a good story. BJ Novak is a very good writer. I know that, and I think he had a hand in writing the film. I'm not sure though. And American Carnage, based on Gary's description, sounds like something I might be interested in. So yes.
You've got the most interesting slate, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you have
Potentially.
what we, all four of us, I think, would like. I think for the general public, Gary certainly has the most appealing. And I would say that I probably have the most variety.
I think Gary's would appeal to most people who want to see Thor, just so they would pick that group of films just to see Thor. I think that was like by far and away the number one pick for any of us, right? So
yeah, I think
I'm banking on Thor bringing this home for me. Like weekend one,
you will have a huge advantage, Gary.
Strong advantage.
I don't see how. And then Super Pets. I was hoping that either Devin or Gary would forget one of the kid films and not look to it with either Minions
it's summer
or
movie
DC
time. I was
Summer.
like, where are the freaking family movies? Give them to me now. Somebody stole Lightyear. I was like, damn it. But
yeah, Lightyear was the given. We knew what it was, and it kind of underperformed for opening, but I still thought it was safe for where I could take it. So,
yeah.
Devin, would you watch your entire slate of films?
I would, yes. No, I would. I haven't seen all of the Despicable Me Minions movies, but I might have to give them a watch now just because I'm picking it. They've been very popular, and
they can be quite amusing. I will admit it. They can be quite amusing. The Minions.
It surprised me at first. I didn't think it was going to be a popular franchise when Despicable Me came out, but then they released 3 of those and then jumped into the Minions, and now they're releasing another one, and it just kind of surprised me a little bit, but it's so popular, I had to pick it. And so I might have to give it a watch and rewatch all of them.
All right. Well, guys, we have about 2 months, just under 2 months, for all of us to plan what it is each and every one of us would pick for that main topic of our choosing. Ooh. So make sure that you keep that in the back of your mind. keep a track of the news whenever you see Lightyear, the Black Phone, Where the Crawdads Sing are all universe builders because of how well they did. Oh, and I guess they all happen to be on my team. Who cares? Whatever. I will be picking whatever topic I want should the time come. Thank you both for joining us for this. I'm sure, I hope, one of you, if not me, if I don't win, I hope one of you two win. So that way we can have you back on and get into the mind of why you picked whatever it is you picked for your main topic. This episode of POWWOW Podcast is sponsored by Sides.
Meet Sides, SIDES, an app that helps you take the law into your own hands.
Turn ordinary agreements into binding contracts in seconds. Then if a dispute arises, Sides will step in to resolve it for you.
Wait, Phil, that was supposed to be my line.
What did we agree to in the contract?
I don't know. I guess we can use Sides to settle this dispute, because each dispute costs a small one-time fee.
And if you win, which I will, it's all awarded back to you.
Sign up now and get 16% off for a limited time only.
May I help you?
You talking to me?
I need to talk to you.
A little word of advice.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome then.
We are now going to be doing the segment You're Welcome, of course, where we give advice to you, the listener, whether you wanted it or not. David, what is You're Welcome?
Well, I'm doing this based on personal experience from today. And I'm just going to say that water is so essential. So when you're out doing touristy things, bring a bottle of water, because we don't want to end up having to buy bottles at the store, which are disposable, plastic, bad for the environment. Go through the hassle, bring a bottle of water, even if it means you have to carry a small backpack to carry the bottle. Just bring a bottle of water out and about. I've learned that the hard way. You're welcome.
Never buy/get a game on or for your phone. I don't care how cheap it is, or even if it is exclusive to just being on the phone. No matter what, the time spent wanting to play that game on the go and the knowledge of knowing that it's just in your pocket will be your downfall. I may or may not know this for this week. You're welcome. So we talked about movies that we are excited to see, but let's talk about movies that we are excited that we did see this week. And of course, I'll start out with one. I've got two here, David. I don't know how many you have, but I have two. I'll start out with one that I'm excited to see. I'm not any different from any other person with a heartbeat this summer. I saw Top Gun, and it's exquisite, David. I don't know if this is going to sound ludicrous to you, if you're going to be outraged by this, but outside of like universe building movies that is like, I don't know, Endgame or Infinity Wars or like The Dark Knight, outside of those, I would say Top Gun is the second best sequel of all time, only to The Godfather 2.
Not including all those franchisee.
Correct, because I would think universes. That The Dark Knight is probably chief amongst them to that title.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
But outside of that, Top Gun, it just ranks above the rest. It is truly enjoyable in every facet, in every way imaginable. It improves upon all the concepts set in the first one. Fine acting performances to great acting performances, and it had a lot of Easter eggs, as it were. So Top Gun, I'm not immune to its charm either. David, what's a movie that you are glad to have seen?
Should I endeavor, because I have several that I have on the list here.
Sure.
Should I endeavor to go somewhere else? Because Top Gun's certainly on the list for me as well.
Sure.
Okay, I will make a point of going elsewhere with this. In terms of just pure joy watching, I would say I really, really, really appreciated the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yes.
I just adore Nick Cage, and getting the pleasure to watch him do his, as I put it on this podcast, his cagiest, nickiest best. It made me smile numerous times, and I very much enjoyed that film. All right, Phil, your next one, what would that be?
My next one is one that I saw rather recently. It's a movie on Hulu, so if you have the subscription, of course, go see it. I believe it's an exclusive on Hulu. It's called Good Luck to You, Leo Grand, and it stars Emma Thompson and a newcomer on the film. And it's very simple, and it's very sensuous. So maybe I should have suggested it last week for for our last episode. It's an adult film matter. It's talking about a woman who used to be a school teacher, retired now, looking to get an adventure by hiring a consort. And it has a mature subject matter, and it handles it with maturity as well and class. And it's as much as thought-provoking as can be, with two excellent performances and very simple in manner, and it completely draws you in. I love where it goes. The conclusion is very satisfying, and it's just all around very good. Now, again, I would say that you need to be mature since it handles mature themes in order to watch this. So it's certainly of an age, but beautiful film. Honestly, it was very enjoyable to watch from point A to the end. Good luck to you, Leo Grande. I might have done something about the title, but that's about it. How about you, David? Any last ones?
Yeah, I'm kind of torn here. I might just I guess I might just go with both of them. I really, really enjoyed, for the similar reason to my first one, Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Uncharted kind of gave me that that wonder. Like I again switched my brain off, and I thought it was I just was along for the ride. So that one, I was glad to have seen that one. And my other one is a little bit more serious and a little bit more like real, like intrigue and suspense, was Death on the Nile. I really enjoyed that. And
I've heard good things.
Just about as much as I enjoyed the first one, which was a lot. I love a good mystery just as much as I loved, Murder on the Orient Express or Knives Out. All great films.
We have some excellent movie suggestions for you if you have not seen one, if not all of those. So go check them out right now.
Of course, that means that it's time for the game, and we have a fresh new guest who wasn't involved in the main topic on to join us to help us play this game, and her name is Stephanie. And she is back. She came on the pod some months ago and talked about non-lethal
injections.
Yeah, injections, hormone therapy, all that. Non-surgical aesthetic medicine?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Something like that. And I learned today that it involves cryo. Anyway, welcome, Steph.
Welcome back.
Glad to be back.
Stephanie, since you are technically David's guest, even though it feels like you are both of our guests, I get 2 questions to ask you out of the 3. So I will start off by asking you this to get to know you a little bit better. If you were to be put in an extreme environment to survive for a week, which environment would you choose? Got a couple, like there's desert, there's the rainforest, there's the Alaskan bush, there's I don't know, there's Africa. Where would you choose to live a full week out in the wilderness, buck ass naked?
Oh, definitely someplace warm and tropical.
Okay, I'm with you.
An island somewhere.
An island. So you'd
Africa
use
is
coconuts.
home to us. Remember, just remember that.
It's
Phil.
not going to be Africa, Phil.
No.
So
that would be too easy, right?
Yeah. I can fight lions.
It's like our backyard.
All right, so coconut living it is. Well to go. David, your question.
My question, Steph, I'm going to admit I'm coming up with this on the spot. What was your favorite exhibit today at the Sex Museum in Amsterdam?
Ooh, I think it was the flashing guy was cool.
It was like a mechanical flashing guy.
Yeah, there was a mechanical flashing guy. He was entertaining. Probably the giant Greek stone.
It was Roman, the Roman one.
Giant Roman.
It was a giant Roman made out of stone.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. That is always a crowd pleaser for sure.
It was a crowd pleaser for sure.
Since the Roman times.
Yeah.
Yes, it's pleasured many a Greek in Roman's eyes. Is there anyone?
I hope it hasn't. Truly, it was massive.
Massive, yes. Stephanie, is there anyone in this world you would go to jail for 2 years for? Take the proverbial bullet, as it were. 2 years.
Depends on jail. But in which country? Where am I going to jail?
Let's say America.
Who would I go to jail for? I mean, you might say David.
You would.
It would have to be somebody very close.
Somebody in family at bare minimum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but not all of them. Not all the family.
No.
No, there are definitely members of this family I would not go to jail for.
Yeah, definitely members of the family we would sooner send to jail than go to jail for.
Is there a best friend at all, Stephanie? perhaps, that you would, or they have to be blood related?
Heather Bourne, she's my best friend. She's getting married this weekend. I'd go to jail for her simply because she would not survive jail.
There we go.
She's a good person.
It's a good reason.
Yeah.
That's a good reason.
Yep.
Excellent. All right. Well, with that, we will go off to our game, and we're going to be doing a game of ranking, right? And so since we did a Blockbuster draft, we thought it might have an association with ranking. Either way, we will be doing a game where I rank 1 from 5, some list, and David ranks some list 1 to 5. And it will be up to the participants and the game players to figure out the correct order. For every correct order or item placed in its appropriate spot, you get a point. Hopefully we don't need it, but there will be a tiebreaker element should we need it. Now, Stephanie, who would you like to face off against first?
I choose you, Phil.
She wants to face off against me. That means, David, it is your game first. Stephanie, no peering eyes against David's game since you are in the same room
It's
as
all in
him.
my phone here. So
Okay.
So I'm going to list, this is the number of people who use certain illicit or stimulating or what's it called? Psycho something substances. And this is, you have to try to put them in order of how many people use these drugs.
Okay.
So obviously after alcohol.
From least to most or most to least?
Most to least.
Okay.
For example, on the list of these several, alcohol is the most. So that you would put that at 1, and then tobacco, and then marijuana. So that's in order from highest to lowest. Now, my question is, after those 3, what are the next 5 in order?
Okay.
I'm going to give them to you in alphabetical order. Cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, prescription painkillers, and prescription stimulants. In order from most people who use or have used these in the last year to least.
I have a question. What's a stimulant? Is that like steroids?
Prescription stimulants could be like what?
Adderall or...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you could overdose on Adderall.
Drugs.
Well, this is not just overdosing. I'm pretty sure you can, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there we go. We learn something new every day. Stephanie, I believe, should probably go second since she maybe has an inside track on this, as I have no idea, and she's at least in the medical field or has been previously.
I suppose.
I
don't think that necessarily makes her an expert on how many people use these drugs.
No, I've heard rumors of Stephanie's old days. I know that how she's an expert witness here. All right, I will go with abuse on it. I will probably go prescription painkillers as number 1, as the most used. My second would then be, it would probably be meth. I'd bet stimulants are going to be number 3, with cocaine being number 4, and heroin coming down all the way at the bottom with my number 5. Stephanie, what is your list?
I had prescription pain meds, number 1. Number 2, prescription stimulants. 3 was meth, 4 was heroin, 5 was cocaine.
So we differ on cocaine and heroin. Where did you have meth, Stephanie?
3.
And meth, and so pretty much everything except for prescription painkillers we have in a different order. So there's a good chance that only one of us will remain atop of this list.
I can tell you, I'm looking at your scores right now. I can tell you that you both got the first one wrong. So prescription painkillers is not the most. The most is in fact prescription stimulants.
Oh.
Followed by meth, which Phil, that means you got that right.
Yes!
I got prescription stimulants for 2, right?
No, meth is 2.
Okay, whatever.
Prescription stimulants was 1. Okay.
Never mind.
3 is prescription painkillers. Right now, the score is 1-0 to Phil because you both got those 3 wrong. But you were both right in that coke and heroin were the last 2.
That's going to determine it.
Right. Right. It is going to determine it. The number 4 was heroin, which means Steffi got those right. Steph, you got 4 and 5. You just squeak it right at the end. That's 2 points to 1 and a victory for you.
Sorry, Phil. Kind of had an upper hand, though.
You did. You had an inside knowledge. We all know of your sordid past. It's all right. It's all right. I have a similar game that I believe might give you an edge over David, but it's only ever so slight in my case.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to my version of this game. I put together a list of movies, and I want you guys to figure out the proper ranking of them in terms of audience score according to Rotten Tomatoes. Now, the catch here is, I looked up Stephanie's likes on Facebook and found a list of movies she liked at one point in time. So if nothing else, I should hope she has seen them all, even if David has not. So remember, number 1 being the highest rated via the audience, not the critics, via the audience, and 5 being the lowest rated. So here in alphabetical order are the list of movies: Anchorman, Office Space, Run Lola Run, Spanglish, and Super Troopers 2. Super Troopers 2. Stephanie should have an inside advantage to this. David, since we're there. David, have you seen all 5 of these?
I've seen Anchorman, and that is all.
So you are working at a decided disadvantage, at least
truly.
as far as the true quality of the film. But you at least have a knowledge, I'd imagine, of most of these films. So where would you place and rank this order?
I'm going to start with the top being Anchorman, just because I think that it's the most popular. I've seen it. I know it's good, and it's becoming a classic, so I would think that has a high audience score. Then I'm just going to go kind of random, but I've heard, or I know that Spanglish, I believe, is an Adam Sandler movie.
It is?
Maybe? So I feel like he's got like he's got his audience, for sure. And then it's really just random. Office Space, Run Lola Run at 4, and Super Troopers 2. I just feel like that one since it's a sequel, it sounds like it could very easily be the worst and the one that wasn't received as well. So Super Troopers 2 is my number 5.
All right, one more time. That's Anchorman, Spanglish, Office Space at number 3, Run Lola Run number 4, and Super Troopers 2 bringing up the rear at number 5. Stephanie, you have seen all these. How different is your list?
A little bit different. All right. Number 1, Office Space. Number 2, Anchorman. Number 3, Super Troopers 2. Number 4, Spanglish. Number 5, Run Lola Run.
Which means we're different on every single one.
David looked at this from a very, Hollywood expert standpoint.
You ranked them for how much you like them, didn't you?
All right, Office Space is number 1. Anchorman is number 2. Super Troopers 2 is number 3, which is interesting to put whenever you say it like this. And then Spanglish is number 4. Run Lola Run number 5. Yes, that does indeed mean that you guys have completely different lists.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Office Space was indeed number 1. So Stephanie starts off the list with a point automatically. Number 2, which I found surprising, is Run Lola Run at 90%. Office Space, of course, taking the number 1 spot at 93%. So Run Lola Run is number 2 at 90%. Next, at number 3, at 86%, is Anchorman. Meaning that at number 4, we have Super Troopers 2, and Spanglish brings up the rear, which means David did not get a single point.
No, I didn't.
While Stephanie takes away the win, steals it away with a 1-point performance here. Stephanie, you have vanquished both of us in the matter of a mere minutes. You went, I believe, from winning nothing last time you were on the podcast to now winning it all. How does it feel? Such a complete turnaround.
This was easily done, Phil.
Easily done, yes. Yes, of course.
Well, that cuts deep, I have to say.
Well, we appreciate it, you coming on the podcast, Stephanie, and thank you so much for playing along.
No worries. Thank you guys for having me back.
I think it's time for that slaps, and I'm going to go first because I've been catching up on a lot of TV shows, as you know. So it's kind of hard for me. These are the things that are lingering in my brain more so than songs and movies, just because I'm like really trying to power through this long list of shows that I wanted to catch up on. And I recently finished Moon Knight, on Disney Plus. It's a Marvel show.
Yes.
And it's very much unique. It's very different from the Marvel stuff we've seen before. And I really enjoyed it. And so I would recommend that to you. If you're into the Marvel universe and you're maybe behind on the Disney Plus shows, or maybe you weren't planning on checking them out because they're not movies and you're really a movie person, maybe check out Moon Knight, because Moon Knight was unique and it was fun. And I don't know, it comes highly recommended to you from me. It slaps.
There we go. Was listening this week, found a new bit of music called Glimpse of Us by Joji, Joji, A Glimpse of Us. It slaps.
Well, this brings this wacky episode where we had 3 separate guests on to a close. And we hope you enjoyed our little draft experience there, as long as the game as well. And we have a few thank yous before we close out today. So first of all, thank you to Cass and Crossland and to Jake Corlang for the music that you hear on this show.
Thank you to Tara Amstutz and Josh Hans for their wonderful contributions to the podcast. We could not have done it without you guys. Thank you so much.
And of course, thank you to all 3 of our guests today. You helped bring this podcast to life as usual. And thank you to you, the listener, for tuning in, and make sure you spread the word, because we feel like we have a lot of fun here and we want to spread the joy. So recommend us to your friends. Let them know we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, just about everywhere you find podcasts, except for Pandora, because screw you, Pandora.
In a world where a little girl goes to a mistaken house and eats food that isn't hers, this summer, a new horror film for the ages, where everything is meaningful and breakfast is no longer rich. It's Porridge, a Goldilocks story about her and the 3 bears.